Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? Let's just pop that back a little bit. So it's been a while that I've done a live. I was so super busy last week. I didn't even get a chance to get on as a live, despite my intentions. So I'm back on it this week. So it's Monday and it's the sun in Virgo now. We've come from fun Leo, childlike Leo, proud Leo, in your face, here I am Leo, into independent, thorough, organised, particular Virgo. So what does that mean? Where you might have been feeling that you had lots of things to do. You might be feeling like you've had all these ideas, all these to-do lists, but you've not felt in the mood to do any of them in the last month. I'm just going to get this group up on my laptop because, again, I can't see your messages. And as we move into Virgo, that shifts completely. It's much more focused on work, focused on where you want to get things organised, where you want to do things. Just get that up. So your mind will shift to being a bit more organised. Now, you may find that you're a little bit critical as well, not just of yourself but of others. So be mindful that you aren't being too critical. You know, just think, wow, it's the summer holidays and we've had Leo and we've had lots going on. So give yourselves a little bit of a break. And if you find that you've been criticising others a little bit, again, give them a break. We don't know what's going on in their lives, do we? We don't know what's really going on. So try and be a little bit less judgmental, because that is part of a Virgo trait there. But it's a great time to get things done. So have a look. Virgo rules the 6th house, which is the house of health in astrology, and of your duty of care. Now, depending on what house your Virgo sits in will be more prominent for you personally there. It'd be that particular area. It could be your home, could be your relationships, could be your money, might be your health there. So whatever house your Virgo sits in, that's the energy that it's going to be wrapped around this month. But as the duty of care and as the health, you might be looking at perhaps going on a diet, perhaps giving up smoking, perhaps taking up more exercise. So your focus could shift to more health matters, and it's a great time to be able to do that. If it is around work, you might be looking at getting super organised, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, finalising things, and being really thorough with everything. Really picky, actually. The energy is picky, but it's in a good way. It's in a good way. And we do have Mercury retrograde coming into September. So we've got a few more weeks to really get things going before we get a chance to go back over. We also had that blue moon yesterday. I don't know if anyone saw it. It was gorgeous moon in Aquarius. It was the double full moon. So that means that we've had 2 Aquarian full moons in the last month. One was at the end of July, one was at here yesterday. So the blue moon is, like it says, once in the blue moon. We hear that saying. So it doesn't happen often. What you may failed to release back in July, at the end of July, this full moon yesterday gives you that second chance to really get rid of what no longer serves you, and kind of have a deeper understanding of where you're going and what is working for you. And again, that could be in any area depending on where Leo sits. Leo rules the house of 5, so the house of fun, love, children, creative energies. So it's okay if something didn't work out there. It's a great time to let it go, and this Virgo energy is a really good time to realise, actually, that didn't work, but this is working. Let's put my energy into that. I, for one, definitely found it a bit more challenging in the last few weeks to get organised and to get focused. I had so many plans and ideas, but I just wanted to go out. I just wanted to go and have some fun. And I should have just done that, really, and just thought, actually, we'll be in Virgo in a moment, I'll work then, because I battled with it a little bit. And if I'd have kind of had a word for myself, that would have been all right. So I think I'm going to remember next year to perhaps take the month of Leo season off and just enjoy it and not put any stress on me at all there. So have a little look at where you want things going. Okay, we've got a few hellos. Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Louise. Good morning, Caroline. Good morning or good evening, Lorraine. Where are you, Lorraine, then? You're not local if that's evening time there. So I'll be having a look at some cards for some of you there, if I get to see anyone popping up. But let's have a look at the cards I'm going to use today. Now this is from my new deck, the Celtic Tarot deck. I bought these at the Fairy Festival in Bewley, a couple of weeks ago. The book is amazing. It's a super hard book, and it's just got so much information. The images are great, and it's a great book. So even if you just bought it for the book, you'd be doing well for that. The images are grand. They're I met the artist, and he was a lovely guy. He didn't know tarot. He just drew what he was inspired to from the chats with the guy. Christoph Hughes created the actual book, cards, and it was Chris Down who was the illustrator, and it was Chris Down that I met. Some of them are a little bit, you know, could poke your eye out, some of them there, and a couple of them I was like, oh, that's interesting, his take on things. But some of them are just gorgeous. My only one that was a little bit disappointing, because the detail that he's got in these cards is really cool, it's really good. So the only one I was slightly disappointed with was the Wheel of Fortune, because the Wheel of Fortune has got so much detail in it, and to me it seems to be lacking a little bit. I don't know, just, I mean, there is symbols in it, but it's just all one colour. I think they could have done something a bit more with that, personally. But majority of them are quite fabulous. So Lorraine, you're in Melbourne. Oh, how's it going there? How's it going over there? I've got a lot of family in Australia. One day I shall go out there. Caroline says, before using new cards, should you do a protection prayer or something? You can do, yeah. I've just done a blog on how to cleanse your cards. It's on my website, www.katemay.co.uk. So I'll try and remember to put that in the group. I've kind of kept it for the tarot community that I've got, for those that have done my course. They're in the tarot community. So I've kind of kept a lot of tarot blogs and things for that. But you can check out on my website how to cleanse your tarot cards. And it talks about the prayer protection. It talks about using sage, using crystals, using different herbs, all sorts there. But you can do, if you feel that you need to, and some people definitely would, they might put a little prayer, they may do something with their cards. For me, just handling them, for me, it puts my energy on them, you know, and as soon as I get a deck, I handle it quite well. So just handling them, and my own intent that these are mine, and I'll be working with them. I don't know if I'll be using these for clients, to be honest. I like my traditional Rider-Waite there for clients. It's got a different energy over it. The energy's been built up over the years. There, my very first deck of Rider-Waite I left in the back of a car taxi on the way, with all my money, on the way back from doing a tarot party. I left the whole shebang in the car, so I was like, shit, you know, I think it was about 50 quid there, plus my deck of cards. And then somebody gifted me a deck, and it was really interesting, because the deck that I was gifted, the second lot of Rider-Waite, when I had my very first reading when I was 19, it was in a little fruit and veg shop down North End, and it was a great guy called Mark gave me a reading. I don't know if he used the Rider-Waite, I can't remember, but you know, I'm still friends with Mark, and he gave me a very accurate reading. What am I now, 46, so you know, I was 19, work it out. And the lady who ran the fruit and veg shop, she was the one that gifted me the second deck of tarot cards that I ended up having. So I love the fact that after all, you know, whatever it was, 20 years, I had a connection to where I very first had my my first reading. That kind of got me intrigued a little bit more. Back then I was reading playing cards for people. I had a astrology deck, still got them as well, Russell Grant astrology deck. So I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I had no idea at all. I couldn't work out the astrology in it. It's also got Chinese astrology in it. I could not work it out despite having the book. And all I would do was just literally pull a few cards in the Celtic Cross for some friends, but I would feel something else saying to me, and it would transpire. But a few years later, things that I would say, it would transpire a little bit later on, but I didn't know what I was doing. but I knew what I was doing with playing cards. I started off with playing cards and general astrology. I was able to tell people at school what star signs they were just by working out their personalities and just, you know, observing them for a little while. So yeah, I moved into the playing cards and then into the tarot cards, and now I can't remember what the playing cards are. I've lost it. I expect if I was to practice a little bit more, I'd be able to read them. But obviously now it's all about the tarot. So there you go. Anyway, let's have a little look at what our daily messages are today. There. Morning, Amanda, how are you? Lorraine, in lockdown in Melbourne, unfortunately, but coming up to spring, so looking forward to better weather soon. Yes, we're just coming into our autumn, aren't we, there? I was wondering, Lorraine, do you still have like a summer break? Is there like a 6-week break in Australia in your winter in August? Do you still have that, or do you have your summer break in December time, January? I was wondering that yesterday because I was thinking about the Leo energy and being playful and being fun, and the fact that we have our summer break during the Leo energy. And then I thought, I wonder if they have it in Australia when it's the Leo energy or not. So that'd be interesting. Morning, Rebecca, how are you? Okay, so let's have a look at our message for you today. I'm going to be putting up some spreads later today. I've just not been on it at all. So we're in Virgo now, so I'll be creating a Virgo spread, and I'll be looking at some cards for, we'll go through the spread for Virgo as well. That's all going to be on my YouTube channel, Kate May Modern Day Mystic. Some of you were able to join me yesterday on our cards and cocktails evening on Instagram. Unfortunately, the video didn't save. I don't know what I did, but it didn't save. But it was a really interesting evening with the lovely Violet B. So that's the 4th Sunday of the month, so we'll be back next month with cards and cocktails as well, if you missed it. But you've got to join me Instagram to see it. Some things are just for Instagram, and that's again under Kate May Modern Day Mystic. Okay, so let's have a look. Today's message is the 6 of Shields. The 6 of Shields. Can you see that there? So the 6 of Pentacles this will be. Now, the 6 of Pentacles, the message for this is all about balance and paying off debt, finding a balance in material things. So you might find that you've got a bit of extra dough today. You might find you've got a bit of extra cash. You might find that you're coming into some bonus, that you're able to clear debt, you're able to pay debt off, or you're able to get a balance of some kind there. It's also the charity card or the voluntary card. So you could be looking at charity work or voluntary work, or just things where you can help other people less fortunate than yourself. If you're feeling particularly flush or you've got something that you want to gift, now is the time to do it. And yesterday, I bagged up a load of stuff that the boys had grown out of. I've got some things from a friend as well, so I kind of put everything together to Sal. And then somebody said, oh, they'd like to send it to Gambia. And I thought, oh, that's a good idea, actually. I didn't know you could do that. So I'm now looking into sending all the old boys' clothes and toys off to these third world countries. So the charity work comes on in here. So sometimes, you know, especially, well, we've seen on the news, haven't we, with Afghanistan, there's so many people in dire straits. So have a look at what you can gift. Have a look at how you can help others. If you're the one that is in a bit of a pickle, if you're the one that is needing some help, perhaps you've applied for a loan, perhaps you've asked for some financial support, this card says yes, you're going to get it, but it must be used wisely. It must be used in a practical way, not to just go on a jolly, but to be able to help yourself and balance things out. Without finances, have a look in your life what needs a bit more balance. Perhaps it is that work and home life, perhaps it is your relationship and your friendships there, perhaps it is your relationship and life, whatever. Have a look at where things need to get balanced in your life there. Now, do remember with this card, it's lovely to help people, but they also need to help themselves. You don't want to be mugged off. Sometimes you can help people and they just take, don't they? And you end up being mugged off a little bit. So find that balance. You know, it's good to help people, but let them help themselves as well. And if you're the one that is being the beggar all the time, perhaps it's time that you helped yourself in a way. You know, you've all got choices. Perhaps there's something that you can look on within yourself or within your current resources there to be able to help yourself as well. So there you go, that's the Six of Pentacles, the Six of Shields all wrapped up. Let's just have a look where we've got some messages coming in there. So annoying that it doesn't come up on my phone. Okay, yes, over Christmas, so weather good for everyone. Oh, so in Australia, that's when they have their break. So there goes my theory of the Leo energy. Wonder what's happening around there. Have a look. Okay, Donna says, yep. Let's have a look at all these comments that's coming in. Don't know if I'm going to be able to see them. Oh, no, it's gone. Anyway, so if you would like a card, let me know if you'd like a little card and let's have a pull. I think my batteries are just dead on the laptop, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to see anyone. I can see Amanda, that's for sure. It's pinged up about 10 times, Amanda, that you're watching. So let's pull a card for you, Amanda. I know Caroline asked for a card. Amanda, you've got the Two of Cups, the Two of Cauldrons in this deck. So two people coming together, united harmony. So some good news is coming on. This indicates that you're coming together with somebody, that you're bringing a united front forward and you're working in harmony to achieve good things there. There's mutual respect, mutual love, there's mutual attraction. Now, if this is a friendship as well, it indicates that you're on the same page, you're working towards a passion, you're working towards the same goal, you've got the same ideas. So there's some good news to do with either collaborating around you, Amanda, with somebody else, or perhaps anniversaries, bringing yourself and your loved one together. Maybe you're having some date night soon, but it's all gorgeous, it's all lovey-dovey, and emotionally you're feeling quite contented and compatible with your lover there. And I do get the sense of some good news coming, Amanda. I do get the sense of being able to celebrate there. You know, you've got the lady there is in the water, so that's super emotional. Her feet's in the water, so it's indicating that you're very intuitive, which I know. You're very sensitive at the moment, and you must be listening to your intuitions. And with the guy, he's on the ground, so there's a practical sense, there's a grounded sense. But merging together, this is going to be a lovely balance, bringing together your intuition, your sensitive nature with that grounding energy is going to bring some good results there. And there's this feeling of it's meant to be. Okay, Caroline, let's have a look at a message for you, Caroline. Okay, the Queen of Swords. These are lovely cards. The Queen of Swords, Caroline. Now, the Queen of Swords asks that you stick up for yourself. Sometimes not everybody likes to hear the truth, but now it's important that you stick up for yourself, that you say your piece, and you clear your mind of whatever is going on in it. It helps unmuddle a situation. So Caroline, if a situation is a little bit blurry, if the lines have been blurred, or if emotions have been quite high and your mind is just a little bit cloudy, then this card indicates that you're able to cut through that cloudiness, speak your truth, and clear anything that's in your way, particularly mental side of things and communication there. All right, so if this isn't you that's going to be speaking up, then be aware, because somebody around you could be speaking up. And like I said, not everyone likes to hear the truth, so it may find there's a little bit of a clash going on with somebody, but it definitely clears the air one way or another. All right, it's asking you to detach yourself emotionally, Caroline. Use your logic rather than your heart. Think logically, think sensibly, think outside the box, think a little bit differently. Don't let your emotions get the better of you. Try and use that head space. Okay, Louise Anderson, thank you for watching. Let's have a little card for you, Louise. Do you know, I might use these cards for readings. I'm kind of getting quite a nice vibe. Louise, you've got the Hanged Man. Do love what I love about this card, and it's one of the ones that's on the front of the deck, is all the ribbons on the trees. I love that. So Louise, the Hangman, life is at a bit of a crossroads for you now. You're literally hanging around, just swinging back and forth on this sort of emotional pendulum, and it indicates that you might have to make some sacrifices in order to move forward. So there's some decisions coming up for you, but before you make that choice, you've got to see things in a different way. You've got to see things in a long-term view, not short-term. Where do you want to be in 2 years, 3 years? What is it that you're trying to achieve for the long-term goal? Now, you've got a choice with this card. You could either stay hanging around and be in this limbo. You could choose not to make any sacrifices, not to change anything, and just stick with the patterns that you've been using, but that would stunt your growth a little bit for your soul. Or you could break free from some sacrifices, change directions, think differently, see things differently, trust the higher good, and change the patterns that have been going on. Break free from something, and that will allow your soul to grow. Now, this will be coming up for you probably in the next few weeks to a month. It won't be something today that you'll be letting go. So it's saying just hang in there, think differently, see things differently, and swing back and forth with different objectives of situations there before you make your decision. But the best decision will be some sacrifice and release, some form of letting go for you in order for your soul to grow. Okay, I can't see anyone else's name because it's just how it works on my phone. It's crazy. So everybody, I hope you can take something of those messages. Sometimes even if you don't get a direct message, my nose is all itchy. If you don't get a direct message, sometimes you think, wow, that makes sense to me. You know, so when you go to church, you don't always get a reading, do you? But there's always something in there that does make sense and just really resonates with you. So hopefully there'll be something there. If you missed the astrology chit chat at the beginning, then listen back on replay. Let me know how you found that. And if you want to book a reading, just message me. I've got a new website that's up. Few little tweaks I'm going to do today, but basically it's up. So www.katemay.co.uk. It's a bit more blingy than what it was before. Pretty pleased with it. Yeah, so message me if you want a reading. Do pop into the shop Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. I'm there, the Mystic Coffee Lounge. We had some gorgeous new items last week. People have been asking for some crystal necklaces. They keep thinking the pendulums are the necklaces, so I've now got a whole load of different crystal necklaces. We've got some chipstone bracelets. We've got some Palo Santo sticks, which seem to be better than the sage. We've got lots of new incense. There's new gifts, oil burners. There's obviously new crystals. There's some new tarot cards, angel messages. We got loads. So do swing by. I'm trying to get it all onto the shop. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, or if I'm just going to have to keep posting the items and then you come in and see them. But the postage is there. I have done a few postage on some of the crystals. So check out the Mystic Coffee Lounge group because that's where all the images are, and it will slowly get onto the shop at some point. Have a great day. I will try my best to be back on Wednesday for another little live session. Tomorrow morning I'll be on Instagram. So do follow that as well. Take care. See you later.